friends, it's Amy. Welcome to Doki Doki Forest. I don't know why I burst into song there, but happy fall or happy spring if you are in the southern hemisphere. I am so excited about the changing season. I am fully getting into fall fast. And speaking of season, what am I up to here? Well, I am doing hashtag RTC season. This is a mini journal challenge created by Priscilla over at Release the Craftin'. So she has come up with Season of the Witch, and she has given us 7 prompts that we can use to inspire us to make some junk journal pages to create a mini journal. So I am on day 2, which is spell. And I am behind in this challenge, but that's just sort of how it goes sometimes. But I don't want to miss out. Like, even if I miss the time when I was supposed to do it, these prompts are so fun, and I'm just going to do them anyway and have fun with the process. So this is, as I said, spell, and so I really wanted to create a witch, and she is just sort of casting a little spell. I almost imagine that she's like walking by someone, and then after she walks by, she kind of wiggles her fingers and a little spell floats out. Now, what sort of spell do you think she is casting? Now, I know that she might look a little bit naughty. She might look like she's up to some mischief there. Maybe she is, or maybe she's, secretly giving someone a good day or sending some good vibes. I don't know. And I really wanted to give her like these vampire teeth, so she might be a vampire witch too. There's all kinds of potential here for a story. And then on her witch's hat there, I wanted to have some herbs tucked in. So she's got some herbs always at the ready for any sort of spell that she needs, or she needs to burn some sage, she needs to do some cleansing, or she needs to sprinkle something for protection, or whatever kind of thing she needs, she can just pull right out of her hat, and she's got it at the ready. So for this challenge, I'm using all envelopes, and I am going by Priscilla's sort of model for this. So Priscilla is creating an envelope journal, and I thought that was so cool because I have a bunch of envelopes I was doing nothing with. So first I put a layer of tissue on, which you saw. Then I put some acrylic paint on. This is an Opal Magic paint, which has sort of a shimmer to it, an iridescent shimmer, which I really like. And the witch is going to cover this up, so some of this will be covered and you'll still see a little bit of it. You might be wondering what the heck I'm doing there. Well, hopefully it will all make sense at the end. Now I'm just doing my watercolor, and I thought when I zoomed in with my camera it would be great because you could get like right in there and see everything. I didn't account for the fact that my camera would focus on either the paintbrush or my hand, and it kept sort of switching between focusing on the painting and focusing on my hand. So I wound up with a lot of blurry stuff, so you may see some edits here where I kind of jump and you're like, I didn't get to see that get painted, and that's just because of the focus going in and out. So next time I do this, I will back that camera up. I will zoom out so that way hopefully it won't get confused, because I feel like when I filmed it before, it didn't get so confused by my hand. Now, I don't know about you, but I am just totally getting into fall. I have been really excited about fall flavors. I made some maple flavored coffee, which I really like. And then I had a pumpkin bagel with pumpkin cream cheese. These are all the things I look forward to that Trader Joe's sells at this time of year, and I love it. So, got to stock up on that stuff before it disappears. But yeah, I am really into all the pumpkin, apple sort of flavors, spicy sort of flavors that you find everywhere. I saw there were stuffing flavored potato chips the other day. Didn't get those yet. I feel like I'm not ready for stuffing flavor yet. That's like more November for me, so I'll hold off on that a little. So you can see that everything has dried there, and you can see that it's shimmery on the cover. So we're just going to glue the witch right on there. And now I'm adding some more glue. Now, what is this? Well, my idea was that this tissue could look like the spell being cast from her hand. So it almost looks like these rays of magic. So I just wanted to pick a few different colors and just have them kind of shooting out from her hand. And then because I wanted them to sort of match the stuff that was behind her, I'm just doing the same thing with the iridescent paint. And then at the end, I decided I would put some sparkle Mod Podge on. And that way it's extra shiny and glittery and hopefully magic-y. Now every witch needs a familiar. So this witch has a familiar that is a little frog. And this little frog is out foraging. And as you can see, I was having some trouble drawing that back foot, which I think I like how it came out right there. But then when I go to ink it, I make sort of a mess. But I just kind of went with it anyway, even though it was messed up a little bit. I just was like, I'm just going to make this work as best as I can. So this little frog is out foraging, and he has his handy-dandy basket there so he can go out and collect all of the herbs that the witch needs. So all of the things that she likes to tuck into the brim of her hat, this little frog goes out and helps her collect. Now he also has a magic wand, and I was wondering, does he have permission to have this magic wand, or did he sort of sneak it, or maybe he's the witch's apprentice and is actually learning how to use the magic wand? Or maybe it's just something he crafted. It's not actually magical yet at all. It's not imbued with any powers, so to speak, but the frog just likes to pretend, perhaps, that he has magical powers. So he's collected some sticks and carved them into a magic wand shape. So those are all the ideas that kind of float through my head as I'm creating this little frog, and I don't have a definite answer for anything. There's just a story that whoever looks at these pages can create, if they would like to. And I wanted the herbs to sort of match the similar tone of the herbs that she has in her hat. So I have a little bit of green there, and then I'll add some blue. So if you had a familiar, what sort of animal would it be, or creature would it be? Let me know in the comments. I'm not sure that I would have one. I think I would probably have a bunch. It would be like a whole little parade of beasties all around me, which is what I feel like happens right now in the forest. So there's all kinds of little critters always all around. And I'm just adding some more green because the green that I had there I thought was a little too light. It was good for a first layer, but I kind of wanted to deepen it and add a few other kinds of greens and blend it all together if possible. And then I'm just filling up that basket, pretending that it is just stuffed with all the herbs and leaves and plants and flowers and all kinds of good stuff. And just some shadow detail here and there. I'm just being kind of loosey-goosey with everything because this is just for fun. It's just having fun creating this little scene and not really getting too technical or anything like that. Just enjoying it. And I gotta have my white gel pen because I love this thing. So I always like to add a few details, some lines, some dots, just adding a little bit here and there. I really like both using the ink, the black ink, and the white gel pen with my watercolors. I just love that combo of everything all together. I mean, why just choose one pen when you can have a few? That's what I say. Actually, speaking of gel pens, I was watching Sylvia over at Sylvia D. And on her channel, she was creating in her seashell journal, and she made a sea dragon. And so she painted the dragon, but then she added these, it looks like neon sort of gel pen details. It looks amazing. The sea dragon looks so cool. So yeah, that looks awesome. I'll link that down below because that's very effective. That very colorful gel pen just really popped. So here I'm just making a forest, just a very, suggested forest. I'm not making anything too detailed or anything like that. Again, because, the frog's going to be covering up most of the left side there. So I just want like the idea of leaves, and the leaves look pretty big as the frog's going through because the frog is pretty small, and just collecting like bits of the leaves. And then I'm going in with my Posca marker. I thought my acrylic paint was dry, but you can see I sort of used my marker down there, and yeah, it was still wet. And little froggy goes right on top. Trusty rock to hold down that paper until it's glued. And then, of course, I love to add some of these metallic sort of watercolors. So here's some nice silver to make it look like maybe it's like pollen or spores floating around. Maybe it's magic. Maybe it's little teeny tiny fairies, Just looks more magical. And now for inside the envelope, I wanted to make a cloud that could be also like a thinking bubble. So I just am going to paint both sides of that. So we are all done. We have our witch casting a spell on this side. You can see all of that sparkly Mod Podge now that it's dried. Then when you flip it over, you get the frog foraging through the forest. That's a lot of alliteration. A foraging frog. And then inside, I decided to write a little spell. So it says, wand at the ready, familiar by my side, setting my intention, intuition be my guide. And then on the other side, you can write a wish. And that does it for these pages. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.